Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my 36-week pregnancy update. It has been a crazy week that has included a trip to the hospital, so we are going to get into all of that in just a second. Before we do, make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel down below. This baby's gonna be here before we know it, and that is just crazy to me. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on any of the action. Now let's go ahead and get into this update. Before we jump into this update, I just want to apologize. I know I look crazy. I just got out of the shower, so my hair is wet, and it's been a crazy week, like I said. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. So I am 36 weeks and 2 days today. On the Bump app, it says that Amelia is the size of a papaya. She is about 18.7 inches and about 5.73 pounds. So starting off, we're gonna jump back to last Monday, I believe. I had a doctor's appointment. She was measuring a few days ahead at that appointment. So I was like, so technically I was 35 weeks and a few days, but she was already measuring 36 weeks, or my uterus was measuring 36 weeks, I should say. Also, while she was measuring my uterus, she went ahead and felt her positioning and decided that she feels like she was probably head down. So we went ahead and pulled in like one of those rolly ultrasound machines into the room, and she checked, and sure enough, she was head down. She looks very low. I didn't feel like she was engaged at that point, but the day following, I definitely could feel her pushing down and getting even lower into position. So that's always great news. But at that appointment, she did go ahead and send me over to the hospital, just because, like I mentioned in a few, I think it was last update, I did mention that she's not moving quite as much as she was. Like, she seems to be sleeping a lot. And so she asked me, she was like, you know, if you do kick counts every hour, does she move like 10 times an hour? And I was like, you know, there's hours that she doesn't really move that much, actually. Like, she sleeps for long periods of times, it seems. With that being said, she felt like it was probably just best to go ahead and send me over to the hospital so that we could see how often she was moving and see about my contractions, because I have been having contractions every single day. But by the time of my appointment, that's not normally when I have my contractions. I normally have my contractions in the morning, and then they fade off in the afternoon, which is when my appointment was. So she just wanted to send me over to the hospital to monitor heart rate and heart rate fluctuations when she is moving, and how often she was moving in a like 20-minute time period. Which of course, this would happen the day that I decide to take Landon with me to a doctor's appointment. He has gone with me before, and it seemed to give him a little bit of anxiety seeing me up on the table and having, you know, me laying down and them feeling on my stomach. It just kind of seemed to give him a little bit of anxiety. He needed to be right next to me, and he kind of screamed a little bit like he wasn't okay with what was going on. So I tried to leave him behind either with my husband or my grandparents. But on this particular day, my husband was at work and had a very full day at work, and my grandparents were, I think they had doctor's appointments, I don't know. So I was like, it's fine, I'm just gonna take them with me. And of course, that's the day that I get sent over to the hospital. So I went up to labor and delivery. I called my husband and I was like, this is what's going on. It's fine. I don't think that anything's gonna happen with this, but she did say that if she doesn't pass the first test, then we'll do a second test, which includes an ultrasound and like more in-depth, I don't know what it is because I've never been in that position before. And if not, then they were gonna go ahead and induce me. And I didn't feel like it was gonna go that far. But I did go ahead and let him know just in case. Him and my mother actually work at the same company, so he told my mom, I guess, and my mom called me and said, let me know where you're gonna be, I'm on my way. So that was really nice. It was about 5 minutes after I got into the room, my mom showed up, which was awesome because they had just hooked me up to the monitors, which means that I couldn't move all that much, and he was just going crazy. It was about his nap time, so he was just all over the place, and he had a poopy diaper, so it was just so crazy, and I was trying to be like as calm as possible to see about these tests and just to make sure everything was fine. But oh man, it was hectic. But the test said that everything was fine. She actually moved really well while we were there. It seems like that's pretty typical. Once they put those bands on you, most of my babies don't like those, and they always like try to move away from them. So nonetheless, everything is fine. And actually the few days following that, it seemed like she was more active. So everything is good there. Her heart was fluctuating with her movements and everything was good. So that appointment was on Monday, and then on Wednesday my husband had a day off, and with this baby coming, by the time my oldest son's birthday comes around, she will only be like less than a month old probably. Yeah, she'll be less than a month old. So I definitely wanted to do something special with Daniel before she got here. Every year for his birthday, we take him to, well, we let him pick the place, but it's normally going to Incredible Pizza Place and we eat the buffet. It's kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese, but geared towards a little bit older kids. So that's normally what he decides that he wants to do. But we always do that with him on his birthday, just because I think that it's really important to spend time with your kids one-on-one, and we don't get that very often because we have a lot of kids. So we took him to his mommy and daddy special birthday day of celebration, and that day my husband actually started feeling really bad, but he like toughed it out to get through the day. I only had like one really good contraction while we were there. We were actually playing mini golf and I had to stop and like breathe it out for a second. So overall, we had a really good day, or we had a really fun time while we were there anyways. Then we went back to my grandparents' house to pick up the other kids, and Kagan wasn't feeling good at all. He checked his temperature at my grandparents' house and it was like 102 point something. And there's a after hours Mercy clinic right down the street from their house. So we just popped in there really quick. He tested negative for strep and flu, but the doctor said that with a temperature that high and his symptoms, it kind of pointed more so towards the flu, but for some reason it didn't pick it up on the test. And sure enough, he had the flu. It's been, I think he's on like day 5 now, so he's just now starting to feel better. His fever broke last night, but it has been a crazy week. Mama's been on her own. Daddy has been in quarantine in our bedroom, because that is like the worst thing that can happen right now, is for my whole family to get sick, because that would just, oh, that would just be crazy. But I will say, during the past, you know, few days that he's been sick, I haven't noticed as many contractions. I feel like even at one point she even moved up and was more so transverse. But today I feel like she is head down and pushing down more, and I have been having contractions today. So maybe my body just knew that it was just a bad time, and so we just like stalled out a little bit. But I definitely do feel like my body has been on the path to getting labor started. One thing that I find really interesting this time around is that I've been getting a lot of like cramps in my foot. It's kind of like a Charlie horse, but in my foot. I've had my leg cramp up like whenever I was sleeping one of the nights, but most of the time it's just in my foot, which is crazy. I don't know what causes that, but I've never had that problem during pregnancy. I know my sister would have Charlie horses a lot whenever she was pregnant, but I don't know what exactly causes it, but I find that very interesting that I'm having it this time around. Also this morning, whenever I woke up, I got up out of bed, and I have been feeling the past few days that she has, you know, dropped and gone lower. But this morning especially, I had like a whole bunch of weight at the bottom of my abdomen, and it was like very, like it was being stretched too much. I don't know how to describe it. I've never felt that before, but whenever I got to my grandparents' house this afternoon, because we took the boys over there to have Sunday lunch with them, and me and Kagan needed to get the last minute stuffs for the hospital bag. Anyways, so I took the kids over there, and my grandma was like, wow, she has definitely dropped. So I definitely feel like at some point recently she has dropped, and maybe that's why I was feeling all of that stretching this morning. I don't really know, but looking in the mirror, I definitely do feel like I have dropped. I have a lot more room to breathe, even though it probably doesn't sound like it in this video because I am very winded, but I definitely do have a lot more room at the top of my stomach, and she's definitely very much so at the very bottom of my stomach. Speaking of the hospital bag, we officially have everything that we need to pack the hospital bags. So I have everything ready for Amelia. I have everything for me. I just need to get it in the bags, and I need to also still find my husband's stuff that he needs to take to the hospital, like clothes and stuff like that. But I think we are ready to go. So hopefully the next video you guys see will be the hospital bag video. As far as cravings go this week, most of the things that I've been craving have been carbs. So like tater tots or french fries, mashed potatoes, you know, just like carbs. I'm not really feeling meat. So I find that interesting because I don't want it at all, really. Like, I will still be eating meat because it's protein, but most of the time for lunch, I find that I would just be happy with like a large french fry from Chick-fil-A with some honey roasted barbecue sauce, and I would be fine. But that's weird for me because I am a big meat eater. Also, the melasma is still popping out at full force. Now let's go ahead and get into the belly shot. So excuse the outfit. Nothing fits me anymore and I just want to be comfortable. So I'm just wearing a t-shirt that obviously doesn't fit. So here we are at 36 weeks and 2 days from the side and from the front and the other side. And then here we are. So she is just very, very low, if you can tell, and I have a lot more room up here. Like, it's a lot more squishy up here than it is down here. And the front and the other side. But that is it for this 36-week pregnancy update. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please go ahead and give this video a huge thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel down below and click the little bell notification right next to it so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Also, if you are pregnant, trying to conceive, or just had a baby, let me know down below in the comment section. They are still disabled, so just bear with me. I will be going through and approving and commenting back to you guys. So let me know down below in the comment section. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.